Hey guys, and welcome back to the Home Studio Simplified channel. Today I've got a brand new instrument from IK Multimedia that I can't wait to share with you. This thing is awesome. It's called Pianoverse. So Pianoverse, in my personal opinion, is unlike any other VSTi instrument on the market, simply because not only does it sound real, but there's just an infinite number of ways to enhance this thing, and you just got to hear this thing in action. But first, before we get into some sound examples, so here it is on the website, the IK Multimedia website. They have different ways of paying for this now. You can either get an all-access plan starting at $14.99 a month, or you can actually buy the individual elements by themselves for $99 and have them without having to pay for the $14.99 a month fee, which is a super cool business model to look at here. So the two that we're going to be looking at is the Concert Grand and the Royal Upright. These are the two that I have currently in my repertoire. These are the ones that we're going to be listening to. But as you can see, there's a wide variety of others that you can actually upgrade to and purchase later. I'll be including a link as well to the video that IK Multimedia released showcasing how they recorded these pianos. And once you see the meticulous process that went in behind getting the sounds for these, you'll understand and realize why they sound so good. So without further ado, let's listen to some sound examples. And I'm not going to get too nerdy on the specs or how these things work. I'm just going to kind of show you sort of just a hands-on really tutorial / demo of the Pianoverse itself. So what I've done is I've just got a looped section here of just a simple chord progression. And I'm going to accent this with some other IK Multimedia instruments, actually the Moto bass and the Moto drum. All right, so here's the Pianoverse by itself, right out the gate. What's it sound like? So as you can hear, the woody sound of it, the room itself that it's in, everything just sounds very meticulous. I mean, it sounds like it has been, like you're literally standing in the room with this instrument. And now I do have a little bit of plate reverb from IK Multimedia as well on there. If we were to take that off, it doesn't really like detract too much from it. This is what it sounds like without it. A little drier. If we add it back in. So the plate is just adding just a little bit more depth to it. But in and of itself, if I didn't have that plate reverb on there, I can actually adjust that within the space setting up here. So right now it's playing inside of Studio A. I could have this playing inside of Studio B or C. I could have this playing on the bottom of the ocean and it's going to have a different sound to it based off of that. I could have this playing on Mars if I wanted to, and it's going to have a different sound. There's going to be like some wind sounds that come up behind it. But each place that you put it into, which I love Studio A, the way that this one sounds, each place that you put it into, the instrument itself is reactive to the space that it's in. Apart from that, I mean, if you go back to the piano tab here, we've got several different options. We can tune it, transpose it, create space here. So even without the use of a plugin, we've got the tone, whether we want it to be brighter or darker. And then we can even add, you know, some different compression settings here. What you'll also notice is there are send and insert effects. There's a lot of different options here. We're going to look at some of those here in just a second, but let's go to the mix tab because this is where it all kind of really gets dialed in. So let's say that I'm listening to this and I have it close mic'd, but maybe I want it coincidental. So this is going to change the way that it sounds just a little bit. Let's take a listen. A little bit of a wider sound to it. This is the close mic'd, not so much of the room being included. So from this section right here, I can already adjust the way that it sounds and the way that it will fit into a mix, which is awesome in and of itself. Then I come over here to the EQ. I can choose graphic or parametric. And I have compression settings as well. I can choose British, vintage, modern, or very mu. And I can make all of my adjustments here. Here's the space tab right here as well. I can choose all of those here. look at all the different spaces you can choose. It's really cool. And some of them, like I said, they're not even real, but it's awesome to have that where you can actually, put this thing on Mars or whatever. You have a secondary EQ and a secondary compression section. This would be after your space. So if you want to do that afterwards as well, you can, or you can choose to do both, like small varying amounts of both. And then we have the master send here, which has our send and insert effects. And you can either adjust those here on that first page, or you can go straight to the effects tab. And this shows you everything that you can introduce into the sound itself. So I have a little bit of a delay, what's called rephase, which as you can see, there's choral, convomorph, delay, filter, lo-fi, overdrive, relab, saturator X, shimmer, vintage plates. These are all amazing effects that you can put on there, up to 3 of these. And then you can even set envelopes and LFOs for each of those as well, which is super cool. So let's go ahead and listen to what it sounds like now, close mic'd in the space that we have it in, which I think I just switched it over to, the Academy space. And then we're going to look at these effects, and I'm going to initiate them one at a time. And I'll initiate it, take it off, and then I'll initiate the next one, take it off, and then we'll put all 3 of them together so you can see just how much this is adding. And in fact, I'll go ahead and remove this little plate plugin. I'll go ahead and just completely remove it off of there so we're not hearing any of that take place. I've got this looped. Let's check it out. So dry signal right here. Delay. A little bit of left and right delay, just to add that extra depth. You can do LCR, mono, or even include a doubler, and all of the settings can be set here. You can even set how much of that is going into, like how much of the dry or the wet signal is going in. Super cool there. So that's what the delay is adding. Here is what the rephase is adding. So this would be like essentially creating a doubler, or, taking things out of phase or in phase. You can mess with that in recordings a lot to get an extra wide sound. So check this out. Really cool. Take it off. A little bit drier. Put it back in. A little bit wider feeling. Awesome. Now let's do the shimmer. So cool. Now we'll put all 3 of them back in. So it almost gives the piano itself this huge sound, this ambiance to it. That just wouldn't be there. I'll go ahead and initiate this plate plug-in back again. And then we're just going to go ahead and bring in like some bass and some drums, just to kind of give you a little bit of a taste of what it would sound like in context with, not a really densely populated mix, just something real quick that we've thrown together here. And like I said, I'll be using the IK Multimedia Moto bass. We're going to be using this bass setting here. This is a really cool plugin, by the way. And then we're going to use their Moto drums. So this is the drum beat that you're going to hear is going to be based off of these drums here. Awesome. So let's go ahead and give this a quick listen. So as you can see, Just a little bit of tweaking there. We've got some amazing stuff going on. That could be a demo in and of itself. That could, I mean, honestly, you could make that the finished product if you wanted to. Let's check out what else we have to offer here. Here's the royal upright. So let's change our settings now to a royal upright. This is what it looks like, but more importantly, what does it sound like? So this is just right out of the gate, default settings with, of course, the plate that I've got on there. Sounds really good. So just by changing the mic positions there, you got a completely different sound. So that's really cool. Okay, so this is with the 𝗠𝗏 setting. So clearly some of these are a little over the top, some of them a little bit more subdued. You just got to find out what works for you. But the great thing is having all of these different settings, these presets to come off of, allows you sort of the creative leeway to say, okay, what can I do that will inspire me today? And sometimes just a simple sound or a soundscape can inspire the song to go in a different direction completely, like altogether, just make it a completely different song. So this one here I've loaded is called just Pop Song. Let's give this one a listen. Awesome. So right out of the gate, you can definitely see that a lot of the sounds in and of themselves are just absolutely amazing. What's cool is too, you have these different filters. So let's say you have a song that you need to sound a little more aggressive. Well, here's two good starting points where you can actually do that. Piano sat, specters and ghosts. Maybe you have one that it's for an angrier song, an anxious, blissful, bold, calm, cheerful. I mean, you name it. Let's go with top chart. Let's just see what this one sounds like. So basically it's just a huge springboard of ideas that are already pre-created for you to go, okay, I'm feeling inspired. Here's a chord progression I got. What kind of sound do I want to add into this? It's going to be super easy to find a sound if you're thinking, well, I want this to be a more calm or cheerful song. So in this case, I've used top chart because it comes up under calm and cheerful. So let's see how it has affected it based off of the sounds. What is it doing to it to make it sound this way? Let's check it. Very cool. All right, well, I hope this brief introduction into the IK Multimedia Pianoverse has been insightful or entertaining in the least. If it has, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other music lovers. I also hope that you like the sort of small demo that I slipped in there of the Moto bass and the Moto drums. If you haven't checked out any IK Multimedia products before now, definitely go and check them out. They've got a lot of great stuff to offer for very affordable prices, and they rival anything else that's on the market. Until next time, remember that we can dream alone, we can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more.